Welcome everybody, Film Fan 108 here with my Blu-ray pickups for March of 2018. And as you can see, I picked up a pretty decent size stack here to talk to you guys about today. So let's get into it and see what I picked up with my first title for March, which is Thor Ragnarok, the 4K and Blu-ray digital. As you can see with that really nice slip there. And you know what, when I watched the movie for the first time, I liked it, but I was really unsure about the movie. I was unsure about the comedy. I was unsure if I really liked the direction they took Thor in. And once I got this disc and rewatching the movie again, I really did enjoy it more. I thought the comedy worked. I thought them taking the direction with Thor worked. And I thought the movie was just really fun to watch. I really like that they changed up the Thor dynamic. I think that it was a bold move. I think it worked. And like I said, Chris Hemsworth is great as Thor still. Mark Ruffalo is still awesome as Banner and the Hulk. Kate Blanchett is great as Hela. It works really well. And basically, this is about Thor dealing with the possible destruction of Asgard, battling the goddess of death, Hela, teaming up with the Hulk, and just overall just going on his journey. And it's a really solid film, and if they don't do any more Thor movies with Hemsworth, I think this is a great ending for that character. I really do enjoy the movie, and I'm really glad that Marvel put the effort, and so did Disney, on this disc. You've got deleted scenes, gag reel, you've got a bunch of featurettes on the making of this. You've also got an exclusive short film, director's commentary, and much more. The picture looks awesome on 4K. And, you know, I know in the past that Marvel has been sort of lacking in special features in the past, whether it was the Avengers disc or Captain America the Winter Soldier. But I thought that they really put the effort into this, and I'm hoping that all the home video releases that Marvel puts out going forward have a lot of great special features. I hope this is a trend that's going to continue. But it's a really great disc, and it's a fun movie, Thor Ragnarok. And the next title that I picked up was a Scream Factory release, and that is the collector's edition of The Strangers. You can see the newly commissioned art right there, and then the theatrical art right there also. Nice. And this movie came out in 2008, directed by Brian Bertino, and it is one of the best home invasion movies ever. It really is. Of course, that's my opinion, but I truly do believe that. I think that everybody does a really great job here. Liv Tyler, Scott Speedman are a couple, and they're kind of on the rocks a little bit. And basically, one night turns into a hellish night where basically they're trying to survive a night of terror where three masked killers are trying to stalk and kill them. I love the designs of the masks. I think the acting is great. It's a creepy, scary, terrifying movie that could actually happen, and that's the scary part about it. And this film has sort of set the standard in some ways for home invasion films. And it's such a unique and wonderful movie that has gotten a lot of love over the years. And they came out with a sequel, and the sequel's good, but you can only really do this movie one time. And it can only be really effective and scary for that one time. And it really is such an effective, scary, could happen to you movie. And I think Scream Factory did a really great job with this. I love the art here. And they have the new HD master for both the theatrical cut and the unrated cut as well. You have the element of terror, interviews with the cast and crew, deleted scenes, TV spots, theatrical trailer, new interviews with the director and a couple of the actors, still galleries. Yeah, this is packed with great special features. And if you're into home invasion movies, if you're into these sort of stalking, killing movies, definitely check it out, guys. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I really, really love this movie a lot. And again, I'm glad Scream Factory got it. They did an awesome job with it. The Strangers, right here. And the next title that I picked up is the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of I, Tonya. And as you can see, a really nice cover there. And you know what? I saw this in the theater. I loved it in the theater. And, Tonya Harding has always been known as the bad guy. I was a young kid when the whole thing with Nancy Kerrigan happened and the nightstick incident. And ever since then, Nancy Kerrigan has been the hero and Tonya Harding has been the bad guy, no matter what. And I really like this movie because it opens your eyes about her life, how she grew up, how she got into the situations she did, the fact that she ended up dealing with the wrong people and that it got her in trouble. She had good intentions, she was a great figure skater, but people dragged her down. And Margot Robbie is awesome in this movie as Tonya Harding. She kills it in this role. Sebastian Stan is great in this. Allison Janney, who won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, is fantastic. It's a really wonderful biopic. I do go into it telling you guys that biopics, some of it is true, some of it is false. Know that going in, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy this movie. The comedy is great in it. And it just turned me around on Tonya Harding. I thought that, it just made me realize that she had a lot of struggles in life, and yes, she made a mistake, but I think she was a decent person that got caught up in some bad circumstances, and it's just a really fantastic movie to check out. I think you guys should definitely give it a chance. And the special features on this thing, you've got deleted scenes, behind the scenes, and a feature commentary from the director, trailers. A decent amount of special features, and again, a really quality movie. Check out I, Tonya when you get the chance. The next film I picked up is also a biopic, and that is The Disaster Artist. And man, this movie's great. I saw this one in the theater, and man, you know what? I love The Room. The Room is cheesy, B movie, over the top fun, and I think that this movie is really a love letter to The Room, to B movies, to just the idea that these people love making movies, and maybe they don't make the best quality movies out there, but they still make movies that people still enjoy and love. And this movie is about the making of The Room. It's also about Tommy Wiseau, played by James Franco, who kills it in this movie. Dave Franco, who plays Greg, who kills it in this as well. You've got an awesome amount of cameos in here, and it's funny, it's heartwarming, it's a great story about two people who consider themselves friends. It's just a really, really solid movie, and again, like I said, it's a love letter to those B movies and those cheesy movies that I love. Movies like, Plan 9 from Outer Space or Troll 2 or The Room, which have a special place in my heart. And I love these movies about the making of these type of films, whether it's Ed Wood or The Disaster Artist, that just show these people who are not picture perfect directors or actors, but they still love movies and they still love making them and just the art of it, good or bad. I love it. It's a great movie. The Disaster Artist here. And it has some great special features. It has a gag reel. It has an audio commentary. It has making of the movie, the directing of the movie, talking about Tommy Wiseau, theatrical trailers. I don't think you have needed to have seen The Room in order to enjoy this movie. You can still watch it and get a ton of enjoyment out of it. But it's nice to kind of watch The Room and then watch this, especially when they compare certain scenes with The Room. It's just a really fun time, man. I really love this movie. And yeah, if you guys haven't checked out The Disaster Artist, go ahead and do it. The next title that I picked up is a Guillermo del Toro title, and that is The Shape of Water. That really nice slipcover there with the colors when you move it around. And I love Guillermo del Toro. He's one of my favorite directors, and there's only one movie of his that I didn't like. Beyond that, he is a really fantastic, dynamic director. And this movie is about this mute woman who she basically is a janitor, works at this top secret military facility, and one day they bring in this creature that sort of is a hybrid of the creature from the Black Lagoon and Abe Sapien from Hellboy. And she forms a bond with this creature and slowly falls in love with it and helps to try to have this creature escape from the facility. And it's a really just fantastic, unconventional love story. Sally Hawkins does a great job in this movie. Michael Shannon does. Octavia Spencer. Doug Jones, who plays the creature, does an amazing job in this movie as well. And like I said, I love the visuals, and I love Guillermo del Toro making these sort of monster movies. I think he does a fantastic job with these type of films, and he loves making the monsters and the creatures the good guys and us human beings the bad guys. He does a really great job with this, and this movie is also a love letter to movies as well. And I think that it's a really well done, fantastic movie. I'm glad that he won for the best director for this movie. I'm glad that it won Best Picture. I think it deserved it. And overall, it's just a really solid movie. I'm glad he got to make this movie. And this, again, is such a fantastic movie. And it's a love letter to so many movies that he's done as far as, getting to this point of creating creatures and creating movies for the love of creatures. And again, he's such a fantastic director. This movie is just an amazing amount of work that he put into it. You can definitely see it. And the special features here, you've got talking about the movie as a fairy tale, a couple of anatomy of the scenes, the making of Shape of Water. You've got theatrical trailers and more. It's a really fantastic movie, and it definitely does feel like a fairy tale at times. It's a beautiful, haunting, unconventional love story, and I think you guys would really enjoy it if you check it out. Let me know what you guys think of The Shape of Water. The next title that I picked up is another unconventional love story, but a great coming of age drama, and that is Call Me By Your Name, the Blu-ray and digital here with the slipcover as well. And the slipcover has become really tough to find for some reason. I don't know why. I think they only made a limited amount, so I'm really glad I got one when I did. And this movie takes place in 1983 in Italy, where this medical student played by Armie Hammer lives with this family, and he ends up forming this bond with this 17-year-old who lives with the family. And basically they start to care for each other and start to love each other. And as I said, it's an unconventional love story, a great coming of age drama about finding yourself, about finding somebody to care for and to love, talking about sexuality, um, uh, accepting your body, things like this. It's a really fantastic movie that really does sort of shine a light on, you don't have to have these conventional love stories of a guy and a girl. You can have something a little more different, like two guys who just really care for each other and form this bond and this love, and it's still a wonderful, beautiful thing. And again, I think the movie is great. The acting is amazing. Armie Hammer is amazing in this movie. Timothée Chalamet is great as well. It got a lot of Oscar buzz and love for the movie, and it definitely deserves it. And again, the special features for this thing, you've got the making of Call Me By Your Name, a conversation with the actors, commentary by a couple of the actors as well. You have a music video here. It's a really fantastic movie. Again, if you love coming of age dramas, if you love these unconventional type of love stories that have a really great message to them, definitely check out a Call Me By Your Name right here. And the next release that I picked up was Itchy the Killer from Well Go USA here, and this is the definitive remastered edition. And this is such an off the wall, bizarre movie, guys. And I just love it. This movie is directed by Takashi Miike, and if you don't know Takashi Miike, he directed movies like Audition, One Missed Call, 13 Assassins, and so much more. And this movie is about the character of Itchy, and he is killing off a lot of these Chinese mob members, and nobody really knows why he's doing it. And you have this guy who works for the Chinese mob who basically is going after him and finding out why he's doing what he's doing. And you would just have these weird, bizarre characters, crazy amount of blood and gore, and it's just such off the wall craziness, and it's so much fun of a movie. I remember when I first saw this movie, and my jaw was on the floor. I was like, I can't believe somebody made this movie. It was just such a wonderful, weird experience. And I know it's based on a manga, which I've never read before, but I just was so excited. Like, oh my god, somebody made this weird thing and it's out there to enjoy. And I just love it so much. This movie's really hard to explain, and this movie's hard to pin down, but it's such a fun experience. And I think Welgo did a pretty good job with this. I think the picture quality is not bad. I will say this, if you have the previous Blu-ray or the DVD, keep it, because the only Blu-ray special feature on here is the commentary. The previous Blu-ray and DVD had more special features and they didn't get carried over to this release, so definitely know that going in. But other than that, it's a really solid Blu-ray and a solid movie too. Definitely check it out if you haven't. Itchy the Killer there with this really nice cover that I think is on all the other releases too, this guy's face. Then the next pickup I got was the 4K Blu-ray and digital of Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, the Steelbook here. And I really love this. I believe this was the theatrical art as well. I like that cover a lot. And on the back side, you have this as well, all of them right here under the water. And also on the inside here, you have this part of it there, and also on the other side you have right here, you have Jack Black and Kevin Hart as well. And you know what, when I first saw this movie, I was actually really hesitant about the movie, guys. I really was. Was this movie actually going to be was it going to step on the original? Is it going to be a reboot, a remake, or a sort of just a reimagining? What was this going to be? And it's a straight up sequel, but it's really clever, it's really fun, and it honors the first film so well. It's just a really fantastic movie. The Rock is amazing in this. Jack Black is funny as hell. Kevin Hart is funny in this. Karen Gillian is really great in it. And it takes place many years later, where the game turns itself into this video game to try to lure more people in. And you have these teenagers who get sucked into the game, and the avatars of the people that are inside the game is who they become, like The Rock and Kevin Hart and everybody like that. And they have to survive the game and hopefully win it, and then they'll be released. And it's, like I said, it's a fun movie. It's a really enjoyable movie for kids and for adults. It just had a really great feel to the movie. As I said, I think that Jumanji, the first film, is such a beloved family classic that I was worried that this movie wasn't going to live up to any of that, and it wasn't going to be the type of movie that you can watch right after the first film, and it honors that love of the game and of the adventure aspect of it. But it works. It really does work. It's such a really great adventure action family film that I I think everybody can really enjoy it, and the humor is there, and I just I just love this movie. I think The Rock kills it, and he has been doing such an amazing job with acting as of late, and he's fantastic in it. Yeah, it's such a awesome movie. It really did surprise me at the theaters, and I had to pick it up, guys. It was really awesome here. And this movie comes with a gag reel. It comes with a few making ofs about the action and the actors and the CGI and all that jazz. Overall, I really did enjoy this movie. I think it's a great, really like family adventure film, and I think you guys are really gonna love it. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. And the next pickup that I got was a Shout Select title, the collector's edition of The Burbs. And a few Blu-ray pickup videos back, I ended up getting Matinee from Shout Select. And that's another Joe Dante film, just like this one. And Joe Dante is such an underrated director. And this is a great movie. This movie is about Ray, played by Tom Hanks, who has lost his job. And he's just hanging around the house. And he has these new neighbors that are creepy and weird and bizarre. And he's so fascinated. He wants to know more about them. He's sort of stalking them. And he's sort of curious, and he sort of gets in their business and the comedy of that. And if you guys really like sort of these movies about sort of these sort of weird characters and the comedy of it, it's actually really fun. And if you've ever been in like the suburbs or suburbia, you know that you have a lot of nosy neighbors. You have people who want to be in your business 24/7. And that's the comedy of this. Tom Hanks is great in this. Corey Feldman is in this. He's really great. Carrie Fisher, who plays Tom Hanks' wife, she's great in this movie as well. And I think it's early into sort of Tom Hanks' career before he really became more of that dramatic type of actor. And he just really is great. The comedy works in here, and it's just a fun movie to watch. And I know it's gotten a lot of love since it came out. I think it didn't do so well at the box office when it first got released, but of course people found it and the love of it, and people really do enjoy this movie. I think it's a really fantastic film, and I'm really glad the Shout Select gave the love that it did. You have the newly commissioned art there, and you also have the original theatrical art as well here for the Burbs. And I know that Arrow put out an edition of this as well, which I also have, but it's nice to have both of them. I really like them. And you have a new 2K scan of the Interpositive. You have an audio commentary by the writer. You have a making of the Burbs, There Goes the Neighborhood, alternate ending, original work print, which includes deleted and extended scenes, still gallery, theatrical trailers. This has a lot of great features to it, and it's really great to see the love still come to this movie. Again, an underrated movie, but it's such a great, funny movie. Definitely check it out. And the next title I picked up was the 4K Blu-ray and digital of Star Wars The Last Jedi. You can see here the nice slip cover there. Of course, the backside also very nice. And you know what? When I saw this in the movie, there was a lot of mixed opinions about it from a lot of people, including myself. I enjoy the movie, but it's got some good parts and it's got some bad parts. It's a mix. It really is. And this movie really takes place right after Force Awakens. It picks up right where it left off. Rey is right there with Luke. The rebellion is trying to escape the First Order. Finn is still unconscious. Everything is sort of stemming from that, and it really involves sort of Rey's journey with Luke, the rebellion trying to outrun the First Order, Finn sort of finding himself and becoming more of a hero. I won't spoil the movie much for you guys. I don't want to spoil it, but like I said, this movie got a lot of mixed opinions, and it was a really one of those movies where people really like either they really liked it or they really hated it. Like I said, rewatching it, there is good parts to the movie and there's bad parts to the movie. And do I think this is the weakest film in the Star Wars saga? To me, I do. I do think it's the weakest. I think that, like I said, there's when the movie is good and when the movie has a lot of great stuff and it hits, it hits. When there's things in the movie that are not so great, it really doesn't work. Like I said, I think it's a mixed bag of a movie, but I do really enjoy it, and I think it is one of those movies that I did want in the collection. But it's not a movie that I'm going to go back to a lot of times, but I do appreciate it. I think the action is still great in here. I think the acting is still really good. I really love seeing Mark Hamill as Luke. And I just want to say that I'm going to miss Carrie Fisher, guys. I think she was absolutely fantastic as Leia, and it was great to see her final film be a Star Wars movie. She didn't have to come back to Star Wars, but she did, and I appreciated it a ton. And I just hope that they're respectful of her character in episode 9. I really do. I don't know what they're going to do, but I just hope they are. And again, it's a really great sort of science fiction movie along with the other Star Wars movies. So definitely give it a chance if you haven't seen it, or even a second time of a chance. I think you guys will like certain things in it, other things not so much, but it's still really solid. Star Wars The Last Jedi here. And it also has some really great special features as well. You have a full length documentary on the making of it. You have 14 deleted scenes, other featurettes. You have scene breakdowns, audio commentary. And I do want to say one thing. I don't know if we're going to get a 3D release of this movie. The reason being is when The Force Awakens came out, it didn't have a lot of special features in it. It didn't have deleted scenes. It didn't have audio commentary. And months later, we got the 3D release, which had the deleted scenes and commentary. But this has pretty much everything. So I don't know if we're going to get a 3D release of this movie. I'm okay with it if we don't. But I know some people would like the 3D release. I just don't know if they're going to put the effort into it. But there's a lot of great special features here. Definitely give it a chance if you haven't checked it out yet. Star Wars The Last Jedi. And last but certainly not least, for the month of March, I picked up Scream Factory title Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, the collector's edition here with newly commissioned art right there. And the theatrical art here, very nice. And you know what? I love this movie. I remember when I watched it the first time and I'm like, my God, man, this is clever. It's inventive. And it's a love letter to all of those great slasher movies, all of the Halloweens, the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Streets. It's a loving tribute to them, and it's a great movie about this documentary crew who ends up meeting up with this guy Leslie Vernon, who is an up and coming killer who idolizes the real life killers of Jason, Freddy, and Michael, and who wants to become them and wants to become the next iconic killer. And the documentary crew sort of goes behind the scenes of him preparing for his first major killing spree, and all of the comedy behind that, the comedy and sort of the commentary on slasher movies and the rules and everything like that. It's such a really great movie. I love the character of Leslie Vernon. I think he's such a great iconic character. I thought the movie was funny. I thought that the movie has some really great gags and kills in it, some really great blood and gore. And Nathan Basil is great as Leslie Vernon. You've got Robert Englund in here, Zelda Rubinstein from the Poltergeist movies. It's such a really, really awesome, like, it takes itself seriously, but it's also a satire a little bit. It's just a really wonderful love letter to horror, and I really love it a lot. And this movie is just a great movie that I think people have found over the years, and I think that it's one that I would easily recommend to you guys. And Scream Factory did a great job here. You have a new HD master from the Digital Intermediate. You have new interviews with cast and the co-writer producer. You have 2 audio commentaries. You have the making of Behind the Mask. You have the casting of Behind the Mask, deleted and extended scenes, theatrical trailer. The movie looks good. Scream Factory really put a lot of effort into this release. It's a great release. It's a great release that this movie deserves. And I know they tried to make a second film, and I know that they had a Kickstarter that failed. They're trying to make it, they're trying to get the second film off the ground. If they have an Indiegogo campaign, if they want to make this movie and people contribute, I'll contribute. I want to see a second film. I want to see more of Leslie Vernon. Do you guys want to see more? I want to know from you guys. I fully support a second film, and I hope they really get to make it because I really want to see more adventures with this character. And yeah, it's such a great, great movie. I'm glad Scream Factory put out this great edition for it. And that'll do it for the Blu-ray pickups for the month of March here. As you can see, a really great stack here. And I want to know what you guys picked up for the month of March. Let me know what you guys got. And you know, this month of April here, there's a lot of really interesting titles that are coming out that I can't wait to pick up. And some pickups that I'm going to get that I haven't picked up. The movies that came out months ago that I'm kind of just getting to now. So I can't wait to show you guys what I get for the month of April. I think you guys are really going to like some of the pickups that I got. But let me know what you guys think about my pickups. Let me know in the comment section what you guys got. And if you like the video, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other content that I have. The other Blu-ray pickup videos, my Blu-ray DVD out and about videos, the theatrical movie reviews that I do every single week. Check all those out. If you like what you see and are a lover of movies and physical media, then hit subscribe and be a part of the Film Fan Nation, where I love talking movies and physical media with my subscribers. I love the responses I get in the comment section. They're some of the best subscribers that I have. And I love having movie lovers on this channel to discuss movies. I'm a huge fan of movies, love movies. And I love having everybody on board who loves movies just like I do. So hit subscribe if you love that. And I will see you back next month for another Blu-ray pickup video. Take care, guys.